Boo. Hello guys, it's again me, Merdan. Who doesn't know me? I study in the US. I came from Turkmenistan. It's like 24 hours flight from there to here. I'm studying in the State University of Montana. In my sophomore year, I was studying in community college at Central Wyoming College, and I came here through the program that let me study completely for free for my first year. I mean, I was supposed to study my second year for free too, but COVID came and all that weird immigration laws came around, so I had to just transfer to the university that would give me face-to-face classes sometimes, and I did to State Montana University in the city Billings. And yeah, here I am, passionate about photography, video making, love reading books. Lately I'm just obsessed with storytelling and personal branding. I'm trying to build a community around me, trying to build and spread the awareness about myself, my personality, what I'm trying to do right now. So welcome to my channel, who is new here, who is not new here, and who has been here for a while. Thank you for being here, and I really appreciate that. So the day is pretty awesome. Oh, I know it's very bright right now. Yeah, sorry, it's too bright outside right now. You can see the snow, and so I'm having a Christmas, New Year kind of mood right now, and feels very cozy here with this snow. I mean, my second year I didn't feel, okay, not my second, this is my second year. My first year I didn't feel so cozy and so, I don't know, Christmassy with the snow, but this year I do, and I like it. Another cool thing I want to show you, people who is following me for a while, I bought a computer PC. So okay, it's maybe a little bit, let's make it brighter for a little bit. Yeah, so I got a PC, and now I can edit videos better, faster, and make better, like with all that special effects, use After Effects, and my Premiere Pro doesn't lag anymore, so it's pretty cool. So today I'm going to talk about ISO. So last two videos with camera basics, I was talking about aperture and shutter speed, and I was going to do the ISO, but I caught up with a lot of things with homework, and one of the recent news from my life, just I want to share, I got tested positive for COVID, and I was isolated in quarantine for 10 or 12 days after I showed my symptoms and stuff. So yeah, felt a little bit lonely and depressive, but I got used to the isolation, got used to the quarantine, then I actually started enjoying it pretty much. That's why I wasn't doing any videos except that last vlog that I did before I go into quarantine. So yeah, so this is third video of camera basics, and the final one about ISO. It's like the basic of a camera that if you're new to the photography, even to the video making, but I guess it's mostly about photography right now. If you're new to the photography, so definitely stick around. You will understand what is ISO, how to use it, when not to use it, and when to use it. So before talking about ISO, when I was planning my video, I was going to say that ISO is like camera settings that measures the sensitivity of a sensor to the light. But when I was researching to find maybe some new information that they could learn and then share with you. I found out that that's not true. That's kind of a myth. So that doesn't have anything with sensitivity, and camera has only single sensitivity regardless of my or your ISO that we put. ISO is just like a mapping. It just tells the camera how bright the final result, the final image should be. So ISO is the camera settings that will brighten or darken your photo. So which means that the higher the number of ISO, the higher the brightness of the photo, of the image. The lower the number, the lower the brightness of the image. Okay, as you figured out, we use ISO in a dark environment when we want to take picture in a dark environment. So we crank up the ISO to make the image brighter. But here's the thing. It's dangerous to increase the ISO, because if you increase the ISO very high, you are sacrificing the quality of the image, because the higher the number of ISO, the quality of the image is more poor, because you get more noise and the photo becomes grainier. As in this example, you see that on one side with a low ISO, the picture is pretty sharp, but the photo with a high ISO, it's not so sharp. So you have to be careful with that when you crank up your ISO. So you want to use, and a suggestion to use the ISO around 100, 200 to have very sharp, very crispy photos. If you can afford that, if you have sufficient amount of light. But there is like kind of a rule, but of course you can break that rule. But there is a rule that if you use the ISO at the end, if you cannot use shutter speed and aperture to brighten your photo, it's like a last resort. Leave it as a last resort. And here's the question arises, right? Like how to avoid then to use ISO when there is not much light, for example at night when you do night photography. So for example, sometimes I do night photography, and if you look at my Instagram photos, the photos are pretty sharp. It's because I use tripod. Just use tripod, and I use my shutter speed. I just change my shutter speed, make it lower to let more light in, and I lower my ISO up to 100, just 100. That's why the pictures are sharp enough. But there's the thing, you have to take picture of a still object if you're doing on tripod and you lowering your shutter speed. Otherwise, if the object or you shaking the tripod, then the image will be blurry. And of course, if the image is blurry, then the photo is just nasty. I mean, sometimes blur gives some of that uniqueness to the photo, but in the most cases it's just nasty. But again, depending on your goal, what do you want to take picture. If you want to freeze the motion and you don't have enough light, your environment is a little bit dark. Maybe, for example, if you want to take a picture of a running guy or a bicycle that's passing by and it's pretty dark outside, not a lot of light, then you want to increase your shutter speed to freeze that motion, but then it means that your image will be darker. For that, just increase your ISO. Try to increase it up to 800 and not more. That's my suggestion, because I think that when you increase the ISO higher, when the number of ISO is higher than 800, then the photo becomes very grainy. And I don't know, I personally don't like grainy photos. with all that noise in it. I'm more into sharp and crispy, my favorite word, crispy photos. Okay, I think this is it. To summarize now, when you are in a dark environment, you're trying to take picture of something, and you tried your shutter speed, you tried your aperture, didn't work, still dark. Then when you increase your ISO, makes your image brighter. Decrease your ISO, makes your image darker. ISO, if you increase the ISO, you should be aware of that the photo will be more grainier and will have more noise. And ISO, if you use ISO, use it as a last resort after you trying the shutter speed and aperture. Boom. This is it. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was useful. I hope it gave a lot of value and you learned something if you're new to photography or if you're just interested in photography. I tried my best to explain what ISO. I was doing photography for, I'm not sure, I guess for maybe 8 months or 9 months. Yes, not a lot. I'm still learner. I'm not saying that I'm expert. I'm not expert at all. I'm a learner in this channel. I'm just sharing what I learned. I'm just sharing what I knew. I mean, I know what is ISO and aperture and shutter speed because I use them almost every day, every time when I take pictures. And I have Instagram account where I post my pictures, so I'm doing that. So I kind of know what ISO, but don't consider me and don't see me as an expert. I'm not. I'm a learner. I'm just sharing with my journey. I'm just want to say that one day I'll become a pretty good photographer and video maker, and I'll be one of the biggest personalities, internet personalities. My channel, my personal brand will grow as Peter McKinnon's and other photographers, cool photographers in YouTube. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I want to accomplish. So I'm not an expert. I'm just a learner. Just to be clear. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel to see the videos, more videos like that if you want. And don't forget to share with your friend. I will wait you guys in the next video. Bye.